But Jackson Cantwell, the number one recruit in the country, announced yesterday that he's going to Miami.
And you would think that was a good thing.
I mean, the Miami people think it's a very good thing. I would think the Georgia people don't think it's a good thing because that was another finalist.
About yesterday. And can I just unload the clip here for a second? I got a lot, and I'm sure you did too, Andy. I know that you and I weren't on all the same things, but we shared a clip from yesterday's show talking about Cantwell. And I wanted to aim some constructive criticism at both the Miami fan base and just fans in general about this. How much time, Andy, did we spend yesterday discussing Cantwell going to Miami in hypothetical terms?
30 minutes.
Why do you think we spent 30 minutes on Miami and not so much on Georgia?
Because it's a much bigger deal that he's going to Miami than if he'd gone to Georgia.
And we had an inclination that that's where it was trending.
That's true.
And we tend to, I don't know to give you dirty secrets, but if we're leaning into something, a lot of times it's because, believe it or not, there's reporting being done.
We might know something.
Yeah. And I just wanted to say to Miami fans, I saw a lot of, why are you guys making this only about money? Why are you only talking about Miami in terms of NIL? He did not only go there because of money. I got a message from a former Miami quarterback, Malik Rozier, basically saying the same thing. And I wanted to address, it's a lot to unpack, but I want to address that. One, neither Andy or me ever once said, even for a split second, that the only reason he was going to Miami was for money.
Yes, I believe I sang praises of Alex Mirabal, their offensive line coach, and Mario Cristobal as a developer of offensive linemen. We mentioned a lot about
the name Sewell together. But we have to stop this fantasy land crap where money doesn't play a factor. Think about yourself in your own personal life. If you get offered 50% more money to go somewhere to do the same job, 9 times, if not 99 times out of 100, 9 times out of 10, to be conservative, you are taking the other job. Now, when you take the new job, even if they are offering you more money, that doesn't mean the opportunity that they're offering you is shit. It means they're offering you more. So the implication or the reporting that goes into us saying that Miami won out and that NIL leveled the playing field is 100% accurate, but that doesn't mean that Miami doesn't develop linemen. No one ever said that. I left The Athletic for On3. On3 paid me more money. That doesn't mean that On3 is a worse job. It means it was a great opportunity for me because I got to do a job that I love for more money. We have to stop this clinging to the past where it's family atmosphere, and this is an entirely different ball game. When Pete Nakos is putting out a crystal ball, he's a business reporter. It's not recruiting from 2005 anymore, okay? So you should be celebrating that Miami has deployed NIL effectively. You should be celebrating that Miami has done something to level the playing field. And I saw a lot of discussion about Miami being a powerhouse and Miami should be beating Georgia for prospects. Well, let me tell you something. If you're not willing to acknowledge it, I will. They have not been good since I was in high school. They haven't had a truly elite team since I was in high school. That is a full generation. If NIL didn't play a factor in this, then Miami would have signed a lot more players for the last 20 years in Jackson Cantwell's situation than they did. Okay? So if you are a Miami fan, look into the camera and give me eye contact here. We are not criticizing Miami. We are not saying that Cantwell made a bad decision by going to Miami. We are reporting that Miami offered an NIL package that was attractive enough to rip him away from the school that he traditionally would have gone to in the past. And if you don't want to acknowledge that, that's a you problem. We're doing facts here, okay? And if you're not a Miami fan and your team gets a 5-star prospect they otherwise probably wouldn't have gotten away from a traditional recruiting powerhouse as a result of NIL, be happy. It's good when your program is functional enough to offer the type of money that is attractive to a player that can help you win a league title. It's not criticism. It's not hate. It's all about the you. It's all about the you. Did I do good there? Like, we're not, this isn't Candyland, okay? So if you want it to be about Rudy, and you want it to be about, how they love your program and your place the way that you did, like it was. I got news for you. That's not college football anymore. It's a business. Okay.
Wasn't college football before, by the way.
And even if it wasn't college football before and you missed the days of the shadows, it's fine. Miami wasn't as good in the shadows. Maybe, Nevin Shapiro at times, it seems like he had a lot of fun on a yacht, but it wasn't going the same exact way that you think it should have been going. And you might think that Miami is a powerhouse. Sure, it is one of the most storied programs in the country, and it has 30 for 30s about them. Everybody knows the U. It was a badass program when I was growing up. Can't even sniff Georgia's jockstrap for the last 10 years. It's not even in the same galaxy. So if you want to play that game with yourself, go ahead. But they might be able to get into that galaxy now because NIL leveled the playing field. You can accept it or you can tweet nonsense at us, but the facts are the facts. And I just wanted to say it because it just drove me crazy last night. It drove me insane. Why were people mad?
Because
who's mad?
There was 100 years of brainwashing that said choosing a college for financial reasons was immoral. Which, if you think about it, with even just the slightest little tiny sliver of common sense, you realize the real world doesn't work that way. Everything in the real world includes a financial consideration.
What do they do with the clapping? It is not bad to factor money into decisions. It's not bad.
Right.
Good.
Well,
you have a program that is able to do it. That is good. Miami is going to be better because of NIL in the future. That is good. It's good. Okay. Are we done with this?
I want to extend this a little bit because the myth of people wanting players to choose their alma mater because they love their alma mater as much as the fan does. The fan probably didn't pick that school out of love. The fan probably chose that school, at least with a financial consideration in mind. I'll give you an example. You mentioned, your decision to leave the Athletic and go to On3, which, by the way, mine was the same. They gave me a lot more money to do a job I already loved at a place that I believed was going to be successful.
And we love On3 now. We love it.
Yeah. Funny how that works. But let's go to my college decision. I went to the University of Florida. Did I grow up a huge Florida fan? Absolutely not. I grew up a South Carolina fan. Florida, of the big three in the state, when I was growing up there, was my least favorite of the schools from a football standpoint. Why did I go to Florida, Ari? Because I applied to 6 schools. I got into all 6. 5 of them were going to charge me money. Florida was going to pay me to go there. Which one do you think I picked?
You picked the one that was most financially responsible.
Correct. It's not complicated. And I imagine most people pick their colleges with some financial consideration in mind. If your mommy and daddy were rich and you got to pick whatever one you want, God bless you. But I don't think that's most people.
Have you seen that meme that says, me, here, school, take all my money. School, you got to be in geometry when you were 14. No thanks. Me, okay. Like that's like kind of funny how it's like how it works. But like that's the other thing too. Like he might go to Miami when he otherwise in the past wouldn't have as a result of NIL considerations. He might go there, fall in love with it, and be the best Hurricane that you've ever seen. He's not even a transfer. Yeah. This is a high school kid who's going to spend hopefully 3 years of productive football there. How do you think he's going to feel about Miami when he walks across the stage in 4 years or 3 years as a first-round draft pick? He's going to say the U on Monday Night Football when they show him as the starting left tackle of the Vikings, and he's going to rep your school. But just because things are different now doesn't mean it's bad. It's not an attack. And the fact that, like, I wrote a column yesterday and we spoke about this, like, I thought Miami fans' reactions would be like, hell yeah, man. The super team's dead. Miami is a thorn in the side. Not we're already Georgia, and we did it because we're better at developing linemen than Georgia. That's not, both things can be true. NIL tipped the scales and you're good at developing linemen. Just because
I would think if Miami wasn't good, if the coaching staff at Miami, we're talking about Mario Cristobal, the head coach, former offensive line coach, and Alex Mirabal, the offensive line coach, who is one of the best in the country at it. If they were not as good as they are at it, It would not have mattered what Miami offered from an NIL standpoint. They would not even have been in the conversation.
He didn't go to NIU.
It both
No offense
mattered.
to NIU. He didn't go to San Jose State. He went to a good place because the whole package was good, but the package was bolstered by money. And if you don't want to acknowledge that, then go find a new sport because you're not with it. You're not with it. And poor Pete Nakos gets beaten over the head, and that's the other thing too. The kid was interviewed and he was asked about why he went there, and he said because Miami worked harder at the relationship. And what do you think he's gonna say? And it's even true. Maybe Miami did work harder and he felt closer to them. They still offered him a compensation package that made him want to go there. It's not a disproof of anything. And if we learned anything from Nico Iamaleava's dad, it's that the guy knows what he's doing. Okay? So it's not hard.
Not Nico's dad, but Pete.
No, not Nico's dad doesn't know what he's doing. Pete knows what he's doing. And we are in the NIL space as a company. We report this. We care about it. We give ratings. We give estimations of what people are worth. We're not making it up.